All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. My name is Chris, and I'm dialing in from Johannesburg, South Africa. And tonight we've got Sean, also from Johannesburg. Sean, say hello to everybody.
How's it, everyone? Great to be on the call. Thanks for having me on, Chris. Really looking forward to what we're going to talk about tonight, because I think it's very important. Basics of how to talk to people is, for some of us, if you've been in the industry, it might be obvious. For most, 95% of the people out there, it's not obvious. And I think, like most things, people get into this industry generally most times because they think it's easy. I'll just get in, I'll speak to my friends, and they'll speak to their friends, and the product's amazing, and I think it's a phenomenal idea. They'll think it's a phenomenal idea. And I'll speak to my friends, they'll speak to their friends, and I'll go sit on a beach and be rich and free, and everything will be hunky-dory. Who thought that when they first got in? This is easy. And then you start speaking to people the way you think you should talk to people, and you realize, hang on, but people are not listening. They don't think this is such a great idea. I'm sending info, I'm talking to someone, they don't even bother to come back to me. These are like my best friends. We've been friends forever. Now they're ghosting me. They like changed their telephone number, changed their addresses, they disappeared. What's happening? I think, Chris, I think the important part is for people to understand it's normal. What all of you guys will go through, everybody experiences. The only difference with some of us is we've maybe done more in the past, that we understand some of these things. And like everything in life, you get good at what you do. The more you do, the better you get at it. The more you talk to people, the better you get at it. This is no different from anything else. Learning a sport, learning to play an instrument, it's the same thing. When you start off, you're really crap. You get better as you carry on. And I think, Chris, the good thing to understand for everyone is you crap at everything. When you can't even walk when you're first born. But your mom doesn't pick you up after trying to work for the first time and chuck you in the cot and go, oh, well, he tried that once. Let's forget about him. Or her. You keep trying and you keep walking and you keep walking until you walk, and then you can walk, and then you can run, and then you don't think about it. It's the same with a lot of things. And it's the same with this. And I think that's what we want to talk about this evening, is there are some things that really don't work, and a lot of what you might think is the right thing to do doesn't work. And then there are things, and it's tiny little tweaks, guys. It's little things. It's little things like that I don't know, like saying hello before you jump into vomiting information on someone. Connect with someone and say hello, So it's things like that. So
that's the fundamental. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That's the fundamental basics of getting started. Because what happens is, I was on a Zoom call the other day, and somebody put the hand up and asked a question and said, I don't know what to say to people. And after hearing that comment, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, we need to do a session on what to say to people with a bit of structure. Because what ends up happening, as Sean was saying, you end up vomiting on people. And you don't do it on purpose. It's out of excitement, and you kind of like don't want to be at a loss of words. You're not too sure what to say. So what ends up happening, if you don't stick to a short clip, you end up doing a presentation over the phone. Now, the problem with that is, number one, it's not duplicatable. Number two, can you give a person a haircut over the phone? I've never seen anybody give another person a haircut over the phone. It's the same thing. You've actually got to be physically sitting in the chair for your hair to get cut. So what happens over here is we end up trying to do a visual presentation on a phone call. So and also when you knew in the beginning, people are scared because you're thinking, what if somebody asks me something and I don't know the answer? And that's what holds people back, right? So myself, I've got a nickname called the Voice Note King. I'm known as the Voice Note King. I absolutely love voice notes. We've got to utilize the technology that we have. I think it's so funny. Sometimes I get, when people phone me, I see the phone ringing, and I'm like, oh my word, I'm getting like a phone call.
I dare you.
How dare you? Like, oh my goodness, I can do 150 messages a day. It's the coolest thing. You see, what you can convey in a 2-minute voice note is what you would normally take 30 minutes to talk to a person on the phone. So that's where people say, I don't have time to do this business, because you end up talking about everything under the sun for half an hour. Meantime, you could have got to do that important part in 2 minutes.
And I think, Chris, one of the problems as well is, guys, always remember what you say out of your mouth is not what hits people's ears. People hear, you think what you're giving them, they are internalizing that from their own limited perspective. They hear certain things. You know, the amount of time I hear people say, oh, well, I'm telling people, and then they come back and they say, oh, I went and did some research on Google. Why would you even tell them enough to get them to go and do research on Google? You don't want to do any of that sort of stuff. You want to become a professional director, professional pointer, professional information giver. That's all. A pointer. I don't tell anybody anything. I just point them in the right direction. Go here, go here, go and listen to this guy. I don't want to tell people about the product. I want a Dr. Harmon to tell people about the product. I don't want someone to tell. I don't want to tell people about the business. I want Chris Hattingh to tell my people about the business. I don't want to do it.
Oh, I agree with you. I was on a 3-way call last night with a friend of mine, Jason, and we were on the call with a lady, and she hadn't seen a presentation or heard anything. And she was asking a lot of information about the company and the product. And I said, I'm not here to do a presentation. There are presentations and there's tools that you can go and look at that will cover that, unless we set up a proper structured presentation. This was just a quick 3-way 5-minute call to have a chat to somebody. So I'm glad you mentioned that, Sean, that you would just point people to the tools and the information that we have. So let's talk about scripts for a moment. Why is a script so important? Because it organizes your thought, and you're not giving too much information to a person too quickly. But what Sean mentioned about saying hello. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to open up the slides quickly. Here we go.
And I think, Chris, when we talk about saying hello, it's not hello and then a 3-page message.
No.
It's hello, how are you? How are you? How's the family been? What have you been up to the last 3 weeks? And that's it. Let them respond. You know, if you think about it, if you walk up to someone in the street, you don't vomit 3 minutes of information over someone. You say, hi, how are you? And they come back to you and go, hi, I'm fine. And you? Yeah, great, thanks. You converse. It should be the same on a message. You converse. As Chris always says, wait for the echo. I have so many people I message going, hey, I haven't spoken to you for 3 years, and they don't even come back to me. So there's no echo. But when someone does come back, it gives me permission to now respond back to that person, and then they can respond back to me, and so on and so forth. It's a conversation. It's not a on someone.
Correct. And exactly what you said, because yesterday when we were talking, we said we're going to talk about scripts. And then you said, no, but people need to say hello first. So we just put you a big hello, but it's a little bit more than that. It's sending a voice note asking how they're doing. And that's how myself and Lucinda started LifeWave just over 3 years ago. I was so excited about what had crossed my path, excited about the product, excited about what it had done for myself, my mom. And all I did was I made my name list. So before we go any further, before we even talk about scripts, before we talk about inviting, before we talk about presentations, before we talk about LifeWave, before anything, the first thing you have to do is have your name list. But we're not going to be doing a training on a name list. There's enough material out there to have your name list in place. So your name list are people that you're going to be contacting. So before you can invite a person to a physical presentation, so that's what Sean and I are going to be talking about this evening, on how to invite a person to a physical presentation, is saying hello first, but a bit deeper than that. So say I haven't spoken to Sean in, let's call it 9 months. I'm not going to send Sean a message straight away inviting him to a presentation, or sending him the invite to the presentation. And I've picked up on this not once, not twice, but I would say too many times on our 3-year journey. I'll give you an example. Myself and Lucinda, we were in Cape Town a year ago. And no, this was 2 years ago. What we did was we had about 6 or 7 venues that we were doing in the Cape Town area. And every single presentation, we had 20, 30, 40 people. And same lady was coming she was at every presentation. She was like, rock bands got groupies and they follow you from city to city to city. And this person was at the first presentation, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one. And I thought, wow, this is like real commitment. And at the fifth or sixth presentation, I said to her, I noticed you come to all the presentations, but I don't see any guests. I said, where are your guests? She goes, I've invited people. So I said, really? How many people, if I may ask, have you invited? She said, over 50. And she said, not one guest has come. So I thought, hang on, something doesn't sound right here, because you've got the law of averages, you've got numbers that come to play here. You cannot invite 50 people and not one person is pitched. She said, they haven't even replied to me. I thought, no, hang on, something is not right here. I said, let's go for coffee. We went for coffee and I asked this lady, I said, so what did you do? She said, no, she sent them invites to the presentation. I said to her, can I please have a look at your phone, open up your WhatsApp and take me to, say, the last person that you sent the invite to? So she opened it up and I had a look. There was the invite. And then I scrolled a little bit higher up and I looked at the date. And the last time she spoke to this person was just over a year ago. And then I went to the next message. That one was about also just over a year ago. And I said, hang on a second. Did you just send the invite as is? She said, yes. I said, right, did you not message the person first just to say hello? She said, no, I just sent the invite. No wonder nobody came. Because I would actually, Sean, I think you'd agree with me. If somebody had to just send me an invite and I haven't spoken to this person in a year, I would actually take a bit of offense. I would take a bit of offense.
Yeah. I'm sure everyone on this call has probably received an invite like that. Hi, dear.
Yeah.
I hope you're well. I haven't spoken to you in like 15 years, but I've got a phenomenal business opportunity. I mean, that just, to me, that's just, that irritates the hell out of me.
Yeah.
I don't even respond to that. Or
exactly.
I might even respond a little bit sarcastically on the reply message to something like that. I don't like it. And I'm sure most of the people on this call, you guys don't like that. Because it almost doesn't it feel like, how dare you? You don't know where I am in my life. You don't know what I'm doing, what I want, where I'm at. So why are you trying to give me something or sell me something when you don't even know what I want? Like, it's almost rude.
That's right. Oh, yeah, no, completely. We spoke about it the other day. Yeah.
I think you got to show people that I find, sorry, Chris, for myself, my whole goal when I'm contacting someone is at the very least is to make someone feel better about themselves that I've sent them that message. That's my whole goal when I'm sending out a message. That even though someone might say, no, thanks, not for me, they go, thank you so much for thinking of me. That's what you want to get. It's not for me right now, but thank you. And I believe that should be everyone's goal here. We're not trying to get people. We're trying to, I don't even know how to put it into words. You want to make people feel special. You want to make people feel thought about. We don't want to make people feel gotten. Trying to get you. I'm trying to get these people because, like I said, I've had it before. We've been in this industry for a while. I still get it where someone sent me a message today. Haven't spoken to them. I sent them a message weeks ago. They didn't respond. And now today they send me a message. Hi, Sean. How are you doing? I thought you might be interested in this financial platform. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, no, not a chance, buddy. Not a chance.
It's the way that it was approached because the most important thing is when you send that initial voice note, because there's going to be a 2-step voice notes that we're going to be going through during this training. We'll show you the slides at the end. The first one is connecting with the person. Connect with them. Hey, Sean, wow, we haven't spoken in 9 months. How have you been keeping? How's work going? How are your kids doing? How's your wife doing? And you see, the thing is, you you can't have one size fits all. This is not a copy paste like copying penguins, right? Because you know each person differently, and you're going to be speaking to each person differently based upon how you know them and what you know of them. So if it's something to do with, say, a school friend, say it's your kids, your kids are friends at school, and this is their parents. You know them on a different level. So you're going to talk about something relatable as you would per normal. So my biggest thing is just remember to be human. Just remember to be yourself, which is the most important thing when asking a person that type of question. So you're going to be breaking the ice, finding out how they're doing. And what's going to happen is the person's going to come back to you and they're going to say, my goodness, wow, I haven't spoken to you for a while. Work, it's okay, everything is all right. My wife, she had an accident and she broke her leg, and her leg is in traction. She's got problems with her leg. It can be absolutely anything where the person is coming back to you with certain things happening in their life, or they might come back and say they hate their work, they hate their job, or there's rumors of retrenchments, or whatever it is. They're going to come back and tell you what's happening in their life, right? Then you only go to the next step. But before we even do that, you need to get yourself into state. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys on the call have heard of Tony Robbins. Now, Tony Robbins wrote a book called Unlimited Power, and he talks about managing your state. So why I'm talking about this is when you send a voice note, you've got to manage your state in the following way. Sean and I spoke about this early days. I never send a voice note when I'm sitting down. I cannot send a voice note sitting down, because if you think about it, you're crouched up, right? And your lungs are like this, and you're sort of going, hey, Sean, hey, how you doing? Da, da, da. Listen to the way your voice sounds a little bit different, where if you're standing up, you're opening everything up. You're opening up your diaphragm. You can breathe properly. The oxygen is flowing and you've got motion.
Smile.
So smile. Yes.
And smile.
So you've got to
People can
stand
hear
when
a
you do
smile
it.
over the phone.
You've got to smile. Take a walk in the garden. Breathe properly. Even listen to this. If you feel like you're not in the right mood, go and put your favorite song on. Go listen to your favorite song for literally a minute or two. And that just gets you into the right frame of mind. And then you're excited to share the information. So we're going to go through 10 different scripts. We're going to go through it really quick, and then we're going to do the exercise towards the end. So let's just, Sean, do you think we should just jump straight in and go into the scripts?
Yeah, I think, Chris, before we just go into the script, what I would also suggest that everybody gets good at is get good at telling your story. For me, I signed up a lot of people in a very short space of time. And all I did was I contacted people, hi, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. And if they came back to me and said, if most people are polite, so because you've asked them how they're doing, they're going to ask you how you're doing, then I told my story. And you can, I would always, me personally, I tell my story and I leave it there. And if there's an echo and they come back and go, oh, wow, that's amazing, tell me more, then I give them more. If they don't come back, I leave it for a couple of hours, even maybe a day, or even a couple of minutes. And then I get back to them and say, hey, actually, I just told you this is what my story. I'd like to invite you, and I'll do the invite. So it's always a thought. I haven't just tried to get you. I've considered you, and I've come back to you, and I've thought about you before I approached you. Does that make sense? To me, that works very well. I've gotten very good at telling my story. And guys, we've got people on this call that I'm sure a lot of you guys, you've got incredible stories. Just tell it. Be real. Be authentic. People love that. Be vulnerable. By you being vulnerable, it allows other people to be vulnerable back. Tell your story and practice it. Get good at it. Tell your story, and then I would say go into the script. Yeah, I mean, you can go straight into the script. It depends. I've just found, for me personally, I'm so conscious about people feeling gotten that I tell my story first, and then I invite. If they ask immediately, I invite. If they don't ask, I wait a little bit and I get back to them so that they feel considered, rather than just, oh, this is my story. Hey, that reminds, I want to get you. Just something that works for me.
Yeah. No, I'm on the same page as you, Sean. We actually speak about this quite often. we've all heard the saying, facts tell, stories sell. Facts tell, stories sell. Any of you guys that are new on the call, you might be watching our training for the first time. As I mentioned, I've been part of LifeWave for 3 years now. And the person who introduced LifeWave to me is George from Mallorca in Spain. And we've known each other for many years before that. But George sent me 21 messages before he got my attention. So guys, don't let that put you off and you're thinking, oh my heck, do I need to send 21 messages? George did that over a 6-week period. But considering I was in a hole, I was in a deep, dark hole. I was in anxiety, depression, brain fog. I was not in a good headspace when George sent me the messages. And he sent me information about the company, the product, the technology. But it was only when George sent me a 6.5-minute voice note where he shared 2 testimonies with me. And after that, that's when I said, George, okay, you've got my attention. Send me more information. So George said to me, sent me a message back and he said, scroll up. I'm like, what? So he said, just scroll up. I've sent you enough information over the last 6 weeks. But you know, the point that I'm trying to get across is the importance of your story. So Sean, I'm so glad that you touched on that, and that's what people want to know.
And would it be worthwhile to send 21 messages to find a Chris Hattingh? I don't know about you, but it's definitely worthwhile sending 21 messages to find a Chris, without a doubt.
Well, thank God that George was so persistent. Do you want to talk about a follow-up king? My goodness, I think we can get George on a session just talking about the art of following up, because that was amazing, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that George did that followed up the amount of times that he did. So, all right, so let's go into the first script. So what I want everybody to do is, as we go to the first one, get your phones out. Get your phones out. I will share this later onto the groups, but just for now, take a picture. We're going to go through 10 different scripts. Now, when you look at what Sean and I are going to be going through, he'll do one, I'll do one, he'll do one, I'll do one. And, you know, take a photo of each one. We'll share the high quality PDF later. But you might look at it and you might go, that one's not for me. We'll do the next one and you go, no, I don't like that one. Then you go to the next one and you go, that's okay. I like a little bit of that. Then we do number 4, not for you. Number 5, yes, that's quite cool. I can use that. So this is just an idea of a script. And what you can do is you can mix and match. It's like what you do is you can take a little bit from this one, a little bit from number 4, and a little bit from number 7. And you can tailor make it and make it yourself. Make it tailor-made for yourself. Sean, you know what? Jump in. Go straight to number 1. Just read the script as it is. Take a photo, guys. Take a photo.
Simple referral. Have you heard of X39 stem cell patches? It's a new patented technology that activates our dormant stem cells. I wanted to pass something along to you. There's a live presentation close to you this week explaining the technology. I think you'd find it really interesting. Would you like the details? Now, again, for me, Chris, I wouldn't, to me, this would be very difficult to just send to someone that, unless you know them very well. And obviously, you know, on your list, you're going to have people that probably 20 to 30 people that you could still, you know, just phone up and go, hey man, I'm using these patches. Come to this presentation. I need you there, you know, brother. And they'll come.
Yes. They'll come. Yeah.
So it depends also where you're at. If you've got people who you haven't spoken to for a long period of time, that you don't have that very close relationship, then to me, again, I would be saying hello, asking how they are. They reply. I tell my story. They come back to me and go, wow, that sounds interesting. I may then go, hey, or I may do it as an afterthought. Sorry, I was thinking, Chris, I just told you I'm involved with the stem cell patches. Have you heard of X39 patches before? And I'd send that message off.
It's conversational.
Conversational.
Yeah.
They come back and say, no, I've not heard of it. Well, it's a new patented technology that activates our dormant stem cells. I wanted to pass something along to you. There is a live presentation close to you this week explaining the technology. I think you'd find it really interesting. Would you like the details?
Now you're asking for permission, which is so beautiful.
Yes or no?
Yeah. And this I do on voice note. So
Yeah.
I don't like texting. Anything longer than 3 lines is too much for my thumbs. I can't do it. It's too much.
And not only that, Chris, you can't express tonality in a message. I mean,
Exactly.
when I talk to someone on a voice note, they can't help but I can convey a lot of energy in my voice, because I'm walking around, I'm smiling, I'm half the time I'm out of breath. People are like, what the hell's up with this bloke? He's excited. I don't know what he's excited about, but he's excited. So I think I'm excited. It happens, guys. Your excitement and your energy rubs off on people. So after I've done 10 messages, I need to go and have a little bit of I need to go stick an energy enhancer patch on, because I deliver, I express energy. And that's what you want to do. You don't want to sit there going, hi guys, I've got this incredible product that you need to get involved with. No one's going to buy.
Oh my goodness, Sean. Oh my goodness. As you were doing that, I was like, no, stop. That would put me off. You've got to have excitement, and people can pick up the frequency, guys. We're talking about frequency, and I'm going to touch at the end something about frequency that happened to me 2 days ago that's going to absolutely blow your mind. Right, let's go through to
the next one.
The next one, credibility focused. I forgot to change the numbers. So, guys, we're going from 1 to 10, but it's showing number 4, but this is actually number 2. So just take the photo of this one. Where say there's a patented stem cell activation patch being presented by leaders who we've worked with over the last 3 years. It's very educational and science-based. Would you like a seat? Bam, done. Sean, next one.
Have you heard of X39 stem cell patches? It's a new patented technology that activates our dormant stem cells. This technology is helping people with energy recovery and overall wellness. They're doing a live information session locally. Thought you might appreciate knowing about it.
Next one. I thought of you. Have you heard of X39 stem cell patches? It's a new patented technology that activates your dormant stem cells. I immediately thought of you when I heard about this event. It's a presentation on some pretty cutting-edge stem cell activation tech. It's right up your alley. Can I send you some info? Next one, Sean.
Have you heard of X39 stem cell patches? It's a new patented technology that activates our dormant stem cells. It's not a sales pitch, more of an educational breakdown. I quite like this one because I like the fact that you're making it clear that it's an educational breakdown of the science. We actually don't, when we invite, we don't even use presentation, we use explanation. It's an explanation call, not a presentation call. We're trying to move away from network marketing lingo. Also, it's about 30 minutes. Most people go, come on this presentation, it'll be about an hour. You know exactly what you're going to go and see. So we're trying to change it up a little bit. It's an explanation call, and it's between 30, 35 minutes. More of an educational breakdown of the science behind this patented technology might be worth checking out if you enjoy learning about new health solutions.
Next one, jump straight into starting again. Have you heard of X39 stem cell patches? It's a new patented technology that activates your dormant stem cells. I don't usually share events like this, but this one stands out. It's a strong presentation with experienced leaders and real results. I'd recommend attending if you're available. Sean, over to you.
Have you heard of X39 stem cell patches? It's a new patented technology that activates our dormant stem cells. They go through the research, how it works, and real life experiences. Totally informational, so you can decide for yourself. Want me to send you the details?
I like that because you're asking the person permission. You like me to send you the details. Even more of an exclusive feel. Have you heard of X39 stem cell patches? It's a new patented technology that activates our dormant stem cells. I have access to a private presentation with limited seating on a patented health technology. I can add guests. Would you like me to reserve a spot for you?
Have you heard of X39 stem cell patches? It's a new patented technology that activates our dormant stem cells. I know this kind of thing can sound futuristic, which is why they explain the science really clearly. It's a good see it for yourself type of event. Want the info.
Value-based. Have you heard of X39 stem cell patches? It's a new patented technology that activates our dormant stem cells. It's free, educational, and could potentially open your eyes to some new health options. No downside, just learning. Are you interested? There we go. So that was quickly. I hope you guys took photos of it. And like I say, you can mix and match this to your personality. something that's become a very good friend of mine the last week is ChatGPT. Right, guys, I'm slow on the uptake. I'm the type of person, when I bought my first BMW, it came out with a CD player. This was about 25 years ago. And I took the car back to the dealership and I asked them to take the CD player out and replace it with an audio cassette player. That's that's how sometimes I'm a bit behind with technology. So you know what? I'm vulnerable. I'm human. I haven't jumped into the technology as quick as everybody has. I've really started embracing it now. And these scripts that I got here, I typed that in and I put it into ChatGPT. Download the app. It's for free. And what you can do is you can actually say, this is my name. This is what I do for a living. This is what I've done in my life. And this is what I'm now doing. And I would like to turn this into a business. How could I say something that fits more my personality and my profile? And it's going to spit out things to you that you're going to go, oh my goodness gracious, how does ChatGPT know this? So you can custom make it and make it your own. Right. So now you're thinking to yourself, you just said the script. Mm-hmm.
And I think, Chris, just on that, guys, if you notice, all those scripts are very similar. And when I read that, all I'm thinking is, it doesn't actually matter, guys, what you say. It's how you say it. That's one thing. And the fact that you are saying it. Most people just, and for whatever reason it is, are so scared. And I think it's because most people are worried about what other people are going to think of them. And I just like to tell you, a mentor of mine told me once, when I said to him, I'm scared I'm worried about what people are going to think. And you know what his words were to me? The fact that you think that people are thinking about you, you're giving yourself way too much credit. Guys, most people do not think about you. They think more about their big toe than they do of you. I promise you now, people are not going to think anything of you other than hopefully they're grateful that you thought of them. That's the only thought you want to leave them with. Rest, don't worry about it.
I love it. I love it.
So just get out there and do it. That's what it's. Just do it. Do it. Do it. The more you do it, the better you'll get.
And practice makes perfect. No, in fact, perfect practice makes perfect. So now you might be thinking,
practice
all right, so now
makes proficient.
Sorry, practice makes?
Practice makes proficient. Actually, it very seldom makes it perfect, but it does make you proficient.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Okay, so now you're probably thinking, all right, now I've sent information about a live event. What if they come back to you and say, that sounds interesting. What is that all about? Or they say, I've never heard of this before. Send me some info. Or they might turn around and go, that sounds like rubbish. Have you gone crazy? Or they say, what's the point of stem cells? I'm healthy. So I'm sure you guys that have been around for a while have received some very strange messages back. But the way that you're going to answer them back, whatever it is that they send, you're going to follow a certain recipe. Now, this is a recipe. I'm sure some of you guys have seen this before. The most simple recipe called AIDA. Attention, interest, desire, and action. So you've got voice note number 1, voice note number 2 that we've gone through with the script. And if they come back and say, please send me some info, or that sounds interesting, or whatever the answer was that they gave to you, you say to the person, I'm going to send you 5 things to have a look at. And this is the recipe that you're going to follow. So when we talk about attention, interest, desire, action, you've got to follow that sequence. Because I was talking to a friend of mine on Monday or Tuesday, and he sent some information out to somebody, and he came back to me and said, oh my goodness, the person's come back to me, and they said he sent the 2-minute video clip. And the person came back and said, wow, this looks really amazing. Please send me some more info. So I said, did you send them info? He said, yes. I said, what did you send? He said, I sent them my registration sign-up link and the kits. I was like, no, that's too premature. That's way too premature. You're going from attention right down to action. No, there's a sequence that you need to follow. Attention, interest, desire, action. So you say, I'm going to send you 5 things to look at. 2-minute overview clip explaining the patch technology. Number 2, the website address, which will go through the science and the patents. Number 3, the 4-page summary PDF. Number 4, 9-minute clip by Dr. Harmon explaining how X39 works. And lastly, number 5, the testimony link tree with over 700 live testimonies, doctor reviews, and clips by David Schmidt, the founder, CEO, and inventor of LifeWave. I truly believe this will change your life. Let's chat tomorrow. So this is what it looks like. These are the 5 things to send to a person. This is your recipe. So if you think about baking a chocolate cake as an example. So Sean and I get the same recipe, and we decide we're gonna bake a chocolate cake. We follow the recipe. It says there 3 eggs, 2 cups of flour, 5 tablespoons of sugar, plus oil, plus vanilla essence, plus this, plus that, plus the cocoa powder, and it's going to tell you exactly how much of each ingredient to put in, and then how to mix it, and then it's going to say put it in the oven at 180 degrees for 1 hour and 20 minutes. So we think, okay, this is pretty easy to do. And then I give the recipe to Sean. Sean is too impatient. He's like, no. I want this cake quicker. So what I'm going to do, Sean decides he's going to put the oven at 300 degrees for 20 minutes because instant gratification. He doesn't want to wait 1 hour and 20 minutes. Sean wants to eat the cake in 20 minutes. So he doesn't follow the recipe properly. Sean, who do you think is going to have the best cake?
You will. My cake will be cinders.
There we go. Exactly. So this that I've put in place over here is the easiest 5-step recipe to follow. So a person comes back. What do you send? You send a 2-minute overview clip explaining the patch technology. Guys, this is the new clip that went out two weeks ago. It is absolutely phenomenal. I've sent this to people and they're coming back going, please send me more info. It's enough to get a person's attention. Then the interest, the website, this is an info website address. The science and the patents is there. Guys, the 4-page summary LifeWave PDF is what was only launched 3 days ago. A lot of people have said, Chris, can you please put the summarized version of the presentation in a couple of pages and leave the business side out? Just a quick little overview to get the person's attention, to get them interested. That just went out, like I say, 3 days ago. You can send this PDF. Then the 9-minute clip by Dr. Harmon explaining X39. This is what we were saying. We don't need to explain the product. We've got professional people that will do that on your behalf. And then lastly, facts tell, stories sell. Testimonies, guys, testimonies, and your story is so important. The testimony link tree with over, and you tell that you type this out and you're telling the person what it is that you are sending them. The testimony link tree with over 700 real life testimonies, doctor's reviews, and clips by David Schmidt, our founder, CEO, and inventor of LifeWave. So there we go. You can take a photo of this. There's all the links.
Can I just say, Chris, the benefit of this is if somebody, remember the idea behind what we're doing is often people don't understand why other people that they're talking to are not as excited as them. Guys, what you got to remember is you've got a big picture. They've got a tiny little picture or no picture at all. Your goal is to increase their vision of that picture so they can get a full picture, so that they can make an educated decision. That's your goal. So exposures is what it often takes. People need different exposures. Now you think, someone says, yes, they'll come to the event. Before the event, you send them those 5 pieces of information and they go through them. That's 5 exposures. They come to a live event, and let's face it, live events are phenomenal. For what we're doing in LifeWave, especially LifeWave, live events are phenomenal. You think you get 5 bits of information to them and get them to a live presentation? Guys, they're in. I mean, your sign-up rate will be through the roof because they're getting the exposure, they're getting the exposures, and then they're getting, real live one-on-one. They're getting a free patch, they're getting live testimonials, they're in the room that's packed full of energy. It's a done deal. So, use that.
Yeah, at a live event, we got a 90% sign-up rate at live event. That is a very high sign-up rate. That's how powerful our public presentations are. Because like you say, you get a free patch. People see the whole presentation visually. But you know what's going to happen, guys? This little exercise, you are trying to get a person to come to a live event, but you know what's happening by accident? You are getting the person engaged. As Sean said, you're giving people little bits of information, different exposures of something to do with LifeWave. Now, there's a saying that says you cannot say enough of the right things to the wrong person, and you cannot say enough of the wrong things to the right person. So it's all about timing, all about timing. So if you think about when George contacted me, I was in winter. Guys, I was in a proper winter season when George contacted me. He got me right at the last minute where he just wasn't penetrating into my brain. And I had to go out of that season because every person is in a different season. You're either in winter, summer, autumn, or winter, summer, autumn, or spring. And when a person's in a winter season, they're not open to look at anything. But when a person says to you, no, this is not for me, they're not saying no. They're just saying not right now. Just not right now. They're just not in the right season because every 90 days is a season. Every 90 days. And people's circumstances change. You don't know what's happening in the background, what's happening in people's lives. People don't have a clue. So much is happening in people's lives that, I mean, I'm not the same person that I was 90 days ago. Nor was Tim, nor was Jody, nor was Tanya, nor was Sean, nor was Aloma, nor was Ilsa, nor was Andre. You are not the same person today that you were 90 days ago. You're a different person. You're a different person because of how much we experience and what we go through in a 90-day period. So we always got to keep that one in mind. So, guys, what I want to do, I think we should make it 10 minutes. Sean, what do you think?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
Let's do it 10 minutes. So what I want everybody to do is we're going to do a little exercise. And towards the end, you guys are going to type in some numbers and you're going to share how many people came back to you. How many people came back to you? Whether it is, that sounds interesting, send me more info. So you guys took photos of the script. All I want you guys to do is write 5 people's names down. That's all. I'm not asking you to contact 10 people tonight, not 15, not 20, 5. 5 people.
If you want to contact 15 people, don't stop at 5. If you want to do more, do more.
Listen, we had a lady in the UK that's in that time frame, she had 12 meetings set up that week. 12. So guys, we're not going to do that many because we're going to limit the time. So so get your pen and paper out, guys. Don't prejudge. Write down 5 people's names that you are going to contact now in the next 10 minutes. And you're going to send them something in the script. Something in the script. I want you guys to stand up. I want you to get your phones out. I want you to send voice notes. Don't be scared of voice notes, guys. Voice notes is the most powerful tool that you can use. The most powerful tool. So
can I just make a suggestion, Chris, that again, guys, just send out 5 or 10. Hi, how are you? Haven't spoken to you in X amount of time. Just wanted to, just was thinking about you. Was going through my name list or was speaking to a mutual friend yesterday and your name came up and I was just thinking of you. I wanted to reach out and see how you're doing. What have you been up to? Let them come back to you.
That's all.
Then you can invite them.
There we go. Okay, guys, let's set the stopwatch. 10 minutes. We'll be back, and then I want everyone to type, but we'll carry on in 10 minutes' time. So we're going to go on mute now, and then, put on mute. You can put your cameras off for a moment if you want to stand up and do this, and then we'll be back on in exactly 10 minutes. See you guys now.
Okay, that's 10 minutes, Chris.
Yes, that's 10 minutes. And wow, I've seen everybody busy sending voice notes. That is absolutely phenomenal. You know what? You might not get a person replying straight away, but they've got your voice note. And maybe on the groups, just type in and give us the feedback and say, somebody just got back to me. I sent out 5 messages, 4 people have come back. So this little exercise now was really just to break the ice if you've never done it before. And it's pushing you past that fear that you might have.
Everyone's still alive after sending out the message. I see there's a couple of people dropped off, but everyone's still okay.
Everyone's still okay. No one's died.
Experienced any kind of out of body experience or any flu-like symptoms or anything like that. No, everyone good. And guys, you know what you find? Sorry, Chris, is the more you do it. I've learned to treat things like this as experiments. My goal in life and your goal in life should be to get better, whatever that might mean. And guess what? Getting better means just pushing yourself a little bit. The worst that can happen is someone says no, or I mean, so what? Like, so what? But it's not, because it's not even about them. It's about helping them, but it's about you developing as an individual. This business, now you think if you've got a business like Chris, what we've also just done is an exercise for each person. Chris as an overall business owner, we're all part of Chris's team. Think how many messages have now just been made and potential setups for this coming week and next week have happened in Chris's organization. That's what this is about. You get good at this so you can teach other people to do it. Because ideally, if you guys are on this call, you've taken out a Thursday night to spend an hour, you want to learn. You want to become business owners. You want to make good money. You want to make money from this. These things that we're doing now are basics that people need. If you can get good at it, you can teach it. And if you can teach it and help somebody else, they can get good at it and they can teach it. And that's what this is about, is becoming leveraged. Eventually, you've taught enough people that you can go sit on a beach somewhere and your business grows without you. That should be the goal.
Teach to teach so you can sit on the beach. That's what it's all about, is the duplication. That's the secret word. We'll do a whole session. We'll do a session one day just on the concept of duplication. But guys, you realize what's happened now? We've all got our own little business units, our own little mini franchise within LifeWave. Every single one of us. When Lucinda and I started 3 years ago, we started every single one of us at the same place. We all went into the back office and it showed 0 on the left, 0 on the right, and you just start getting the messages out there, getting the word out there. If I think about it, we've Lucinda and I, we've signed up our 91 person, 91 humans.
Sorry, Chris, can I just before you carry on, it's just hit 9 o'clock. Everybody okay if we just carry on for another 10 minutes and just finish up? You guys happy with that? We've got your permission to do that? Awesome.
Brilliant. Thank you, guys. This is so exciting, because what you've just done now, do you realize this little exercise, if you've sent out 5 messages tonight, is something that you might not have necessarily done yet. And it's all about frequency. Guys, this is all about frequency. And you're putting this out there. Do you realize what you've just done tonight could potentially change the entire trajectory of your life? What you've just done tonight can possibly change your entire life, because you don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of days, who's going to come back to you, and what that can potentially turn into, like what Sean was talking about when we talk about leverage and the duplication. So
now think if you just had the guts to do that how long did that take? 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Now think if you did that 10 minutes, guys, 10 minutes every day for the next 30 days or the next 60 days or the next 90 days. Think what that could do for you. Think what that could do for your business. Change your life. Most people, Chris, sorry to say it, just do not do the work.
Yeah.
Don't get angry. Hubby said it on our leadership call last week. Don't be upset. And me and Tim were talking about it. Don't be upset for the results you don't get for the work that you haven't done.
That is so powerful. That is so powerful. And the biggest secret, guys, is only 5 messages. So we're not talking about quantity. We're talking about a thing called consistency. So it's not about the quantity that you're doing on a daily basis. I would rather have a person send 1 message a day. 1 message a day over 30 days. That's 30 messages instead of 30 in one day and then nothing for the whole month. because what it is, it becomes a habit. And that's anything in life. It takes 21 days to make or break a habit, So when we're talking about frequency, guys, we talk about when you get tuned in, and when you tuned in, you start to become aware of your surroundings a lot more. And obviously, once you've been on the patches for a lot longer, it just completely changes the frequency. Beverly did a session a little while back talking about frequency, and that's what LifeWave is all about. Everything in this world resonates at a certain frequency. This pen that I'm holding, this bottle that I'm holding, all resonates at a frequency. And when we're putting an intent out there, that is frequency as well. When we're sending a voice note out that's with intent, a frequency goes with that. Now, I'm going to share something so interesting with you guys that happened over the last couple of days. So, as you all know, myself and Lucinda are getting ready for our road trip, our City Hop road trip. We leave tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. And once we're gone from home, we're gone for 6 weeks. We're driving down to Bloemfontein tomorrow, then we're hitting Cape Town, and off we go. Now, on Friday, I actually met with Sean. We met for coffee to talk about the training that we're doing tonight. And while I met with Sean, I took my car to go and get new tires because, we're going to be doing a lot of mileage, and that's something that I don't play around with is our safety. So I got the new tires put on. So I said cheers to Sean. I went to go fetch my car, and they said, there's a problem. And I thought, uh-oh, what's wrong? They said, we can't do your wheel balancing. Your front tie rod joints are gone, and it's got a shudder. I said, do you feel a shudder? I said, a little bit of shaking here and there. They said, well, you've got a big car, so you won't really feel it. But your tires are not they're going to wear unevenly. So we highly recommend you go get those new things from Toyota. So straight from there, I went to Toyota and I walked in, I spoke to the receptionist lady that looks after the parts department. And I said, hi, do you have these tie rod ends for the Toyota Fortuner? She said, yes, we do have stock. And I said, oh, fantastic. Can you do it now? They go, it's Friday afternoon. It's 3:30. It's a little bit of a longer job. You can't just get a screwdriver. This is like a 3-hour thing to do. I said, when can I bring my car? She said, Monday. I said, perfect. He said, can I take your details? Yes. She said, what is your registration of your car? I said, it's X39. She said, no, sorry, what is your registration of your car? I said, it's X39. She was like, oh. She wrote X39 and she said, that's an interesting number plate. What is X39? Then I showed her my patch and I said, this is X39 stem cell reactivation patches. She said, I've heard about that before. Somebody was here a couple of months ago and gave me a card. And that rings a bell. So she was looking through her cards and she said, I can't find it. So I said, right, I'll see you on Monday morning. So Monday morning, I get there, I book my car in, and I said to her that I'm going to give you some patches when I come a bit later on. So she said it'll take 3 hours to do the car. I said, perfect. So I get a phone call and they said, it's going to be longer than 3 hours. We need your car the whole day. Is it okay? So I phoned Lucinda. She came to fetch me. So I only went on Tuesday to go fetch my car. Like, guys, listen to this. This is going to blow your mind. The person that she could have spoken to could have been one of thousands of people. She couldn't remember this person's name. So they phoned me at lunchtime on Tuesday to say, Chris, you can come collect your car. I said, cool. So while I'm in the Uber, earlier on in that morning, I saw that it was Bayanda's birthday. So Bayanda, I think Atta and Bayanda, they're on the call now this evening. So while I'm in the Uber, we're about probably 300 meters away from the entrance of Toyota. So it goes up a long driveway to the main dealership. And I send a voice note to Bayanda. It's her birthday. I saw it on Facebook. I said, Bayanda, I just want to say happy birthday. We haven't seen each other for a while. When we get back from the road trip, we'll get together. I just want to say, have an absolutely amazing day. And basically, I put the voice note off. I got out of the car and I walked into the dealership. I go walking down the stairs and I go to Michelle and I said to her, cool, I'm going to fetch the car. And she said to me, You're not going to believe it. I found the business card. It was in my handbag. I said, really? Now, who is the person that spoke to you 2 months ago? She picked up the card. It was Bayanda's card. Bayanda's business card. Guys, I nearly fell off my chair. What are the chances that the person that I'm sending a voice note to saying happy birthday, driving up to the dealership, is the same person that she couldn't remember what the person's name was? So this is the type of things that start to happen in your life. You start to look out for the signs. And when you tune in, you're going to see a lot more of the synchronicities happening in your life. And that's all about just getting connected, plugged in, and tuned in. And make sure, Tim and I were talking the other day, make sure there's no static on your line. Make sure there's no static on your line. Because when you're tuning into a radio station, in the old days, you used to turn that little knob, and kind of like if you let 1 degree out on the left or the right, it makes like a, and you don't hear the radio station. And that's exactly what it's like when we're tuning in to LifeWave, is being tuned into the right radio station. And guys, you'll watch how miracles start to happen in your life. That all starts with your intent and what you're doing. Tim and I were talking about when you do the name list. We'll do a session on this soon, where you hold your patch when you're writing down your name list, because your patch is your antenna. Because what's going to happen is people are going to pick up the frequency before you even send the message to them. I thought I'd just share that with everybody. What an amazing story. The chances of that, guys, is not 1 in a million. That's 1 in 10 million. Sean, have you got a similar story that you can share, how things just fell into place?
Not really. You've got me off guard there.
I saw that.
No, well, I think for me, I'm old school. Lists and things. I've found a number of times that I write a name down, and I'm thinking of that person, and I then contact that person, and they come back to me and go, "Funny, Sean, I haven't spoken to these people in years, potentially," and they'll come back and go, "It's amazing, actually. Me and my wife, or we were thinking about you the other day, or I was thinking about you a couple of weeks ago." It's amazing. There's a lot of energy. We are very powerful beings. That's the more I see this, Chris, what you've just said, the synchronicity, guys, we've got a lot of power inside us. Use that, get it out there, affect other people. What I love about this business is you can make money, but you can also become significant in people's lives. There's not a lot of industries where you can become significant. When people say to you, "Thank you, you've changed my life." What's that worth? We've got something in our hands here that, I'm doing this. This is my last go. I'm never building. Before LifeWave, I was never building another network marketing business again. I got dragged into this thing kicking and screaming. I've been in network marketing most of my adult life, but my goal, my dream has never changed. I get emotional. I want to be free. That's what I want. I want to be significant in people's lives. I lost my brother early on, just before Christmas. He was my best friend. And I've had people say to me, "Oh, we got problems in our lives. We got these things." Guys, we're always going to have problems. We're always going to have challenges. But it doesn't take away from the fact that I still want to be free. And I need to do the things every day that are going to get me free. Yes, there's going to be things going to happen in your life. But does it take away from your goal and your dream? Does that change your goal and your dream? And if not, keep doing the right things. And if you do it for long enough and you do the right things and you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And we're seeing it here right now. People are getting what they want, and eventually you will get what you want. I don't know if that was a good enough story.
Oh, Sean, no, that was absolutely amazing. So true. If you're sitting in a barber shop for long enough, you're going to get a haircut. You sit there for long enough. That's just it's bound to happen. Bound to happen. Guys, so before I hand over to Lucinda, she's just going to quickly go through the road trip schedule. Just reminding everybody of what we have in our hands right now. The ability to help people on every level, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and financially. And what we have in our hands right now, people are praying for. People are praying for what we have in our hands right now. People are looking People are looking for something to change their lives and do something different. And it's up to us. This is not going to happen through osmosis. Not going to happen through osmosis. The people need to get the message from us for us to tell the people about it. And we have in our hands right now something that can change the trajectory of people's lives around the world. This is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life is this technology on this beautiful industry. And this industry is really redistribution of wealth. It's a spiritual program. And once you get connected to this program spiritually, watch the way things change. So guys, thank you for taking the time out. Sean, thank you for being on the call with me this evening. I've really had a lot of fun sharing some insights and tips and experience with everybody. And I really hope that everybody got something out of tonight's call and something practical that you can start using straight away. And guys, give us the feedback. If you get a win after tonight, if something happens just because of what you guys did tonight, please let us know. Please let us know, and we can do more of these types of workshop type of sessions. So once a month, we're going to be doing Thursday night EduTraining once a month, and we're going to be doing practical stuff that people can use straight away.